So I just hit the submit button on another PSA submission. A lot of you collectors out there have been taking advantage of the 1980s $15 a card special, and I had my eye on it, and I was hoping that I'd be able to utilize it as well, but I didn't have a whole lot of cards that I needed to send off. Now, a lot of you watched me absolutely bomb a submission and have a nightmare reveal. I'm so glad that my pain brings so many of you entertainment. You restore my faith in humanity. But after that submission and then the better submission reveal that I had later, I just don't have a lot of 1980s cards. So the special required at least 10, and I just didn't have a lot. I came up with 4 specifically that I really think are worth cracking and resubmitting. I don't do that often, but just because I'll say inconsistency that I think I've seen with PSA's grading, a lot of the comments that you guys have made, thanks again for watching, I just think that it's going to be a fun kind of exercise to give it a shot. Really, I'm doing it for you. We'll document it and just kind of have fun with it. But I think the grades that these cards should have is better than what they got, so we'll do that. So I've got a couple of those, and what I ended up having to do was actually go into some of my PC sets. I'm a set collector, and so I've got some 1980s sets, things like a Brown Box Factory 1985 baseball set, a Vending Fresh 1983 baseball set. And so I actually had to go into these sets to try and find cards that I actually think are worth spending the $15 on. I have a ton of cards, 7s and 8s type of grades, and $15 to me is just still too much to spend. The return isn't there. Either they're PC cards and I just don't need to grade them right now, or you can't flip them at $15. A lot of these cards, again, 8s, you're still not even covering the grading costs. So basically, there's not a whole lot of upside on this submission for me, but I'm still going to try and have fun. So, like I said, I was eyeballing the special, but I wasn't really ready for it. And then I got the email today that it was the last day of the special. So I rushed and managed to scrape 15 cards together. We'll take a closer look at them in a little while. But as you can see right here in front of me, I've still got some slabs. Stuff is not loaded in top loaders or anything. So I just hit the submit button and I've still got to really prep this order. So we'll take a closer look at the cards later. But I did want to really first touch base on the slabs that I picked, and if I can get some good lighting. These were from the Nightmare reveal. First off is one of the Jim Kelly 6s, or actually the Jim Kelly 6. I think at minimum it should be an 8. I've tried to take a look at it. So that's one of them. The Jim Kelly 7. Same thing. I think it's a 9. I'll crack it, see if I agree. The Ray Bork rookie card that got a 6. I just think it's better. And then the 85 Clemens that got an 8, but I cannot find anything wrong with this card. Again, I'm going to have to crack them. I will take a closer look, see if there's any surface stuff. I'll get some high-res photos. But those are the 4 right there. A couple cards you see here. Again, this is an 80s special from a 81 Jack Nicklaus to, I think, the 89 Barry Sanders. Off here you see this is a 86 Jerry Rice rookie card that graded a 6. I bought it slabbed at a local card show. I think it's a 6. The reason I had it out here, it's just laying around, is because from my ungraded set, I pulled my Jerry Rice. I think it compares favorably with that Jerry Rice. And so that's why that one's sitting out there. It just is part of my comparison process. But that one I'm not cracking. I think it's an accurate 6. I think it's a good looking 6. That one I think I'm probably going to end up saying it's a 6. But again, we'll take a look at those later. My garage is a disaster right now, so my cracking of these cards may or may not end up filmed. There's another video out there that shows how I crack cases. Take that one for what you will. There's a lot of ways to skin that cat, but I've been doing it that way for years before I watched anybody else on YouTube, so I've got my way that I'm comfortable with, but you can go check that out. So in the meantime, I got to get these out of the slabs, and then we will take a closer look at the cards. So I have got these 15 cards prepared. I cracked the cases successfully on the 4 PSA cases. My garage is worse than I even remembered it, so there was absolutely no way I was going to get that on film. Again, I mean, I got no reason to lie, so hopefully that doesn't become an issue. But cards are here. I've got them all in brand new penny sleeves. I have got some close-up videos of a couple of issues that I will be able to intersperse in here, and I've got high-resolution photos of pretty much all the cards. I've also already done my pre-grades, so without further ado, we will start with this 1981 Donruss Jack Nicklaus. I got a bunch of these, and this was the one with the best centering, and it's got great edges and corners. So it's a pretty sharp looking card, but this card, and you'd probably be able to tell a little bit better from the pictures, it's faded, it is a little discolored, and so I graded it as a 6. So the other thing that's going on is that prices have come down quite a bit, and so this card in a 6, maybe a year ago when I actually pulled it and set it aside for grading was probably worth a little bit more. So what I would say about this submission, guys, is that there's not a whole lot of upside in it for me. So I've decided to continue to go through with it though. So, but just know that I'm not flipping any big cards here. Next one up is a 89. Traded Barry Sanders, and this card's phenomenal. This one I'm pretty sure will be for sale. I think I've got my own copy, but I graded it a 9. I think there actually is a little bit of discoloration on the back. It's not like pure vivid white, so the card is razor sharp, beautiful edges, centering, and everything. But I think it's going to end up at the 9. Wouldn't be surprised at a 10, but I do say a 9. And I got to put these in order. These are actually in order with the PSA reveal. All right, next up is the Jerry Rice. Again, I kind of showed you the 6 that I had in comparison. Up close on the upper right corner, I believe this one comes back a 6. I'd love a friendly 7. If it does get a 5, I'll be disappointed. So I peg it at a 6. The Marcus Allen rookie card from 1983. This one is really, really sharp. Beautiful print. It's out of my personal 83 set. That's just razor sharp. I got another card up from that set in here. But I did say an 8. I think, and it may or may not come through on even the high-res pictures, the upper left and the lower left corners may just each have a little bit of a kiss. So I won't be surprised at a 9. Will be disappointed at a 7. I do think this comes back an 8. From that same set, this card is spectacular. Lawrence Taylor, his second year card. I actually have a PSA 9 82 LT. Gorgeous card. This one, when I first pulled it, I was like, oh my gosh, this one has a chance at a 10. I've scaled that back. I actually did take a little bit of magnification to it. I think there is some printiness around. It's not going to show up in anything that I can say or that I can show you guys here. So it is a stunner of a card. And in a 9, I think it's actually a pretty decent investment. If it did come back at 10, it'd be fantastic, but I pegged that one at a 9. All right, first of the 2 Jim Kellys. On the Kellys, I've revised both of my pre-grades to 8s. This one is the one that appears razor sharp, but there is a little bit of a surface bubbly blemish thing up here that I did try to take some video of. I don't think I got a picture of it, but if it comes back less than a 9, that's the reason, and so I do peg that one at an 8. I don't think it's the 7 that it got. Then there is the second of the 2 Jim Kellys, and it does have a little bit of a lower right corner fleck. I could not see any other surface paper lifts or anything else that would have made me agree with the PSA 6 that it initially had. But because of the corner, I do think it's an 8. If it comes back a 7, we step into the subjectivity argument. Again, I think on that lower right corner, but again, I can't find anything else. All right, the Ray Bork rookie card. I still think it's an 8. It's just, it's razor sharp. The back is slightly off-centered, but if you recall the PSA 7 1974 Pete Rose, that was more off-centered than this one that got a 7. It's razor sharp. I'm hoping for an 8. Next up is an 83 Topps Ryan Sandberg. This, again, from a Vending Fresh set that is in my PC. This card is phenomenal. I put a conservative 9 on this one. I've hit a couple of 9s before on the 83. Boggs, Gwynn. I can't remember if I have actually I think Sandberg. So I think I've got 9s on the big 3, and 100% honest, this is the best one that I've ever held. So if it comes back at 10, I won't be surprised. But again, 9 is what I think that one comes back as. First of the 2 Roger Clemens, and looking, one of them is raw, and it is from my PC set, which was a factory brown box 85 set, and I pulled 1 or 2 out of it, but it's a gorgeous set. But the Clemens was razor sharp, perfectly centered. So I said a 9 on that one, and then this is the one that was in a PSA 8. If it comes back an 8 again, I believe it may be just a kiss on the upper left corner, but I still wrote down another 9. I think it's a crisp one. Then we have got 2 Mark McGuire's. This one is from the my PC set. Perfectly sharp, good centering. It is a tiny bit off, so it shouldn't gem. But top to bottom looks great. Left to right is a little bit off. I think it's still within 9 standards. And the print on this one, which I've had issues when I've submitted this card in the past, is print issues. It's one of the cleanest ones I've ever seen. Clean back. I pegged that one at a 9. And same story here. This, I can't remember exactly where this one came from, but I've been sitting on it for a while. Just another razor sharp, blazer. This one I think actually is a little bit better centered. So I've got 9s on both of those. From my PC set, again, there's Nolan Ryan. Now, I actually just picked up a PSA 9 85 Topps Ryan at the local card show a month or so ago. Oh, got a great deal on it, and it's a gorgeous card. I actually PC Nolan. I'm working on a slab run, and this is just one that you see it and it's like, okay, that one needs to get slabbed. Perfect center, razor sharp corners. I think it's a conservative 9. That's one of the few cards in this submission that has any sort of upside for me, just because I've already got some sharp copies. If that one did gem, I think that ends up being like a $500 or $600 card. I'm not going to say that, but I think that one's a 9. And then, just because I've got an 86 Donruss the Rookies Jose Canseco, and I was looking at this the other day, and in my mind I said 9. I can't remember why, because it's a blazer. But with these color, the full bleed corners, one little thing keeps it from being a 10. So on this one, I said a 9. And if it does get a 9, I barely break even on that card. So again, there's the 15 cards. Not a ton of upside for me, but it is a smaller submission. And we're really taking a close look at those 4 resubs. And then I got a couple more, a couple of cards that are part of my PC sets that I just decided to take advantage of the $15 special. I really hope that someday we do see sub $10 bulk specials. That's where a lot of my personal collection would really kind of make it into slabs. It was right before quarantine, and basically the world lost its mind when PSA was doing the, I think it was the 90s basketball. I had like an 80 card submission, something like that, into them. And it was one of those ones that took over a year or around a year to get back. And, I've just got my fingers crossed that we see that type of special again someday soon. But until then, that is. I'm going to package these up and I will show you the results when I get them back. Thanks for watching.